You want to know what ADHD streaming is? I got an answer for you right now. Welcome in, Zeke. Welcome in. ADHD streaming is you just start streaming and then somehow you take one look off to the side and then you get distracted by a new lengthy comment that appears on one of your archives. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. Posting. Thank you, Ozzy. And thank you, other Ozzy. Yes. Thank you, third Ozzy. All right, wait a minute. Wait a minute, and there we go. Yeah. Ozzy can't mod like this. Yeah. Exactly. No problem, Nightbot. Yeah. I mean, I think I got the better end of the deal there. Not gonna lie. Okay. But yeah, it turns out, yeah, one of the, I was looking at my other, hang on. I need to look away from this. Because, yeah, I would always rather be a person than a robot. I mean, you can say that, but if we... Okay, hypothetical then, you know? Okay, 100 years into the future, we figure out how to put human brains into robot bodies. Would you do it? I think I would. It'd be kind of fun. 100 years into the future, I hope to God I'm dead. I mean, that's a cyborg? Okay, fair enough. I mean, is it though? Is there a point, is there like some threshold of human to robot ratio, that human to mechanical ratio, to differentiate whether or not you're a cyborg, a robot, or something else? Hey, Gimmer, welcome in. Hey, first time chat. Depends on how big it makes my robo boobs. I mean, you're a robot. You can make your own modifications, you know? Yeah. Also, ew to both of you. Yeah, anyway, ADHD streaming is you come in and then you start stream and then you look and there's a very a lengthy comment on your archives by the devs of Decky, of all games. Okay, wait a minute. You know what? We might want to take a look at this. One second. Because he's actually the dev is actually responding to some of the points that we brought up in the stream. I just wanted to read that really quick. Now, to explain the no plugins part of the game, the mass majority is all just eventing. The only time the script command is really used is for game screen show picture because of the normal UI, for it is missing a couple of features such as setting the picture ID as a variable. Also, touch input is pressed is using default conditional branches for mouse clicks. But all the platforming, physics, collision, interactions, room logic is all done via pure eventing. That is insane. Hats off to Guest Morph Games, because wow, that is amazing. So that was Decky, the game that I wish, like, I remember bringing it up in the judges chat. It was like, hey, can we have like a super special, unofficial, how the hell did they do that award for some of these games? Because I would put Decky like right up on the top of that list of recommendations. Because that whole time, once it was revealed that this was not done via plugins, I just looked at everything being like, how the hell did you do that? I could make some guesses. But yeah, I would not have been able to... I would have to know exactly how it was done via eventing. I would have to see it done like in person. But it's still wild. Rip into the files? I mean, well, wait, I think the thing is encrypted, so I couldn't open it up. I guess I couldn't open it up, yeah, like that. I mean, I wouldn't really want to, because that doesn't seem like the right thing to do. I don't really like to crack into other game devs' files, especially if they encrypt it, which I deleted the game from my disk, so I guess I would have to extract it again. I don't really feel like doing that right now. To see if I could actually open it up, because I know back in the Ace days, there was a weird thing where you could just put out the game and remove the encrypted exe file. Sorry, not the encrypted file. So you could publish the game, take out the editor file. So it removes confusion for players to be like, hey, which icon do I open up? And then if you really wanted to, you could just put in your own RPG Maker file into that file system and then open it up. I don't know if the dev of Decky did that, but I don't really want to delve into it. That feels kind of icky. Not gonna lie. Playing Candy Crush and one of the characters' names is Nova. Care to explain? Why are you playing Candy Crush? For one. Also, yeah, I may have sold out. Every now and then. There's also a prostitute in Fallout 3 named Nova. Are you gonna accuse me of being a prostitute as well? Crush, not Candy Crush? Oh, Crush. Oh. Well. Yes. Well, then where's my money? Huh? I ain't putting out just for anybody, Rag. Yeah. What's your rate? Depends on how big your robo-boobs are, you. Well, interesting. Well, seeing as I am just an avatar on the internet, the answer to that question can be whatever you want. So, where are we? All right, what are we doing right now? Oh, right, I gotta take out some of these other things. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I need to make an announcement everywhere else as well. And yet I'm still disappointed. Well, then you need to, I don't know, boost your imagination. We could all use a little bit more imagination, And then we have, all right, we're going to do that on Twitter. And then finally, over on the community page. Oh crap! I forgot to announce the last couple of streams on the Game Jam page. The last post was part 13. Oh yikes! RPG Maker. Wait, what? RPG Maker? Oh, I couldn't tell if you were like butchering RPG Maker or if you were making a mix between RPG Maker and Devil May Cry. For a second, I was like, wait, what? Maybe I've got Devil May Cry on the brain. I don't know. Alright. So, as for Devil May Cry, bless me. With you. Wait, what? Lamau gave you a little... Crap. I wish I had the caught thing right. Rag, are you okay? Are you stroking out? Are you stroking out live on stream? More antis today, right? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, yeah. Thank you, John Erico. I forgot about that. Thank you for sabotaging yourself. Gotcha. Gotcha there. Rags, Aaron, John Erico, Z, good to see you all too. Oh, and Nova too, I guess. Yeah, whatever. You're just mad because I just finished eating salmon for dinner. So it's basically like eating your brother. Hey, Jen. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Everybody's coming out today. Well, thank you all very much. I just had tacos. Very nice. Excellent choice of dinner. Okay, so for today's games, we have ourselves a couple of couple of ones that we want to show off here. Now, there is actually a theme behind today's games. And that theme is single character parties. I played a couple of games that I believe handled the concept pretty well, but a lot of other games that I was going through were they thought that just having a single character in your party without changing much of the default battle system and expected the game to carry. And that's really not how that works. When you have a single character party, you have to make some changes to the battle system, whether that be in clever skill design or changing the whole system itself. You will need to make some changes because the default RPG Maker battle system assumes that you have party members. Right? And without some clever eventing or clever skill design, it's not going to work. So we have a couple of games here that took that into account. What are they? Well, stick around and find out. I say as if I'm not about to immediately go into them. But good, I finished my game remake more or less. I made a manual for it. Manuals. That was my way of connecting with games where I wasn't able to before. So yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for game manuals. Because when I was a kid, when I was growing up, I was not allowed to just, obviously speaking, I wasn't able to just get games, right? Because I didn't have any money. So I had to basically figure out how to beg my parents for money so I can get a game. And they were like, okay, well, we can do that, but you have to earn it. Which means you can only get a new video game if you get all A's and B's on your report card. And report cards, when I was in school, came like every semester. So like every 3 months, every 4 months. Shoot, how long was 90s? Jin, a manual? What is this? 2010? 2010? You think game manuals... What? You think game manuals were at their most prominent in the 2010s? That's insane. So yeah, now the problem is I had my handwriting was complete and total garbage. So I was getting all A's and B's on my report card except for penmanship. So it was going to be a crapshoot every time whether or not I would get a B in my report card or not, a B on my penmanship, because they graded. I don't know how it is today, but they graded handwriting when I was in elementary school. Yeah, I'm from the 1980s, where if you didn't read the manual, you didn't know the plot of the game. So it's like game pages in RPG Maker nowadays. But yeah. Hey Fortuna, welcome in. Hey Sharpie, welcome in. Welcome in. How y'all doing? So yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that all the time. I wasn't able to get a B or higher on my penmanship. So there were many times when I would go like entire half years or years without getting a game at all. So, but luckily I had a friend who was like, hey, no problem. I won't lend you the games, but there's a manual you can check out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so reading instruction manuals was how I was able to live through games. How I was able to experience games when I was a kid. Oh, Nova had one friend. How sweet. I know, right? One. And that's all you really need, you know? You get yourself a really good friend who I still communicate with to this day, which is really neat. And yeah, you're set. We didn't get graded on handwriting in my area, at least that I can recall. Yeah. Dang, now that's actually impressive. Yeah, we actually just talked about a week ago. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Nova, more like no friends, am I right? You're so funny. Again, he's just mad because I ate his brother. You know, you gotta learn to get over it. It's a man-eat-fish world out there, Ten. Your family knew that when they gave birth to you and your brother. But yeah, like my handwriting consistently got C's and low B's. But yeah, I heart Nova and I heart Ten's brother, and now I stomach Ten's brother. Circle of life, you know? That's just how it be. And there's the Twitter bots coming in saying that, oh hey, look, I'm gonna like your comment, like your announcement. Happens a lot, you know. Yeah. Okay, so games that have one single party member. Here's one example of a game that does this well. I forgot to pull up my... Okay, wait a minute. I forgot to pull up my sheet because I need to give you guys the link. All right. Actually, you know what? While I'm doing this, I do have one sort of announcement to make. You know what? While I have this thing opened up, let me check. I have 13 games left as of this broadcast. 13 games left to judge. Okay, neat. So I think I'm going to get through those. I'm estimating that I can get those done by next Monday, which means that we're probably going to go ahead and start easing our way back into our regular schedule starting next week. And so the best way to do that would be to start off with one of the punishments being just completely on brand, which means that we're going to start off with either React Wars or Dragon Age the Veilguard. And I'm not really sure which one I want to do yet. But it also means that if you guys are on Discord right now, or at any time when you watch this, you can submit your own clips that we will watch on the channel next time we do React Wars. And yeah, I mean, I call it wars, but it's the objective of React Wars is to post something that will get the strongest reaction out of me. Could be something interesting, could be something stupid. It could make me want to punch you. As long as that's what it's judged on. So the goal is to get the strongest reaction out of me in some way or another. So yeah, post your videos and then we'll watch it. And for those that and just to take advantage of people's FOMO, because they are reaction videos, I cannot fucking talk today. Oh, man, it's a good thing I didn't have like 3 back-to-back meetings in which I was doing nothing but talking at work. Anyway, because they are reaction streams, they are not going to be archived. So they're not going to stay up on Twitch. They're not going to be on YouTube. So if you guys have any of that FOMO, guess what? I'm going to take advantage of that. So yeah, be there or miss it. Unless someone decides to clip some parts. But yeah, that is that. So we're either going to do React Wars on Monday or Dragon Age the Veilguard. Whichever one. But on Discord, there's a channel just for React Wars submissions. So you can come in, add in your clips, and we'll check it out. Whenever it happens. I will tell you on Friday what we're going to do on Monday. Okay. And so now let me stop stalling and get the game that I wanted to show off. There it is. Okay. Game number 1 that we will be playing is... Oh, crap. No, I didn't mean to... Whoops. In my effort to quickly move back over to the Twitch menu, I accidentally clicked the run 1 minute ad break. My bad. Well, whatever. We can go ahead and get started. Good job. I know, right? Listen, it's all about making that bread. That was definitely not a mistake whatsoever. It was totally deliberate to try and squeeze some more money out of you guys. Because that's just, definitely how I roll here. Enjoy your 6 cents. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Anyone who's subbed, are you seeing the ads? Because I have no idea if ads ran manually or actually showing for subs. Pretend there's another 0 there. That's all right. No? Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, welcome back, everybody. That was 60 seconds. So, yeah. I have Turbo and him sub, but no ad. That's all right. Okay, good. I just wanted to see the reach. Because Twitch was getting weird about what you can show ads to, who you can show ads to. I just wanted to make sure. Just run a quick little survey, quick little data gathering session. So anyway, today's game is Dodge at Now by Waldorf, friend of the show. So what makes this game super special? Well, you play as one character. And hey, Potter, welcome in. Love this one? Yeah, I did too. All right. And then Waldorf always does solid work. Absolutely. We played a few Waldorf games on this channel in the past, and I've got my eye on this dev. So as soon as I saw that I could play a Waldorf game, I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, from the Respawn banter to the other game with the Acker ending. I do not remember what that one's called, and I'm actually pissed at myself right now. Because despite the fact that I can't remember the title, I remember the game very well. But yeah, we got ourselves a Waldorf game, everybody. So let's check this one out. So I'm going to let the game speak for itself, rather than try and do a preamble, because every time I do a preamble, it always seems to fail. Okay. Who am I? What am I? Yes, I remember now. I know what I have to do. This is bed, this is rock. Okay, admittedly, when I first saw this, I appreciate the super low res pixel art, but it did take me a second to figure out what exactly that was. So I looked at this and I thought, oh, are we going to have a Baba Is You situation where we can recode, reassign identities to different game objects? But no, that's not what's going on. This is what they get. They can't just forget about me. If they really don't care about me, then they'll know me by the name of Code Shambler. No. Oh, it was just a bad dream. My bed is not feeling right. It's stiff like a rock. No wonder I didn't sleep well. So, quick little first impressions that I got. My gut reaction was like, ew, I really don't like super low res pixel art for like zoomed in portraits like this. Because when you full screen games like these, the pixel art gets so large that it's actually very hard to tell what this is supposed to be at first glance. It's only if you don't play it at, if you play it like at, wait, what was this original? Oh yeah, original resolution, which admittedly it is easier to make out. But I play them full screen, so. And then second reaction was, wait a minute, look at the, I don't want to call it artifacting, but look at the fuzzy edges of the pixels. And I was like, oh, this guy's doing this deliberately. Like, this isn't just a zoomed in picture of the sprite that you would normally do when you're crunched for time. This is like, wait a minute, you're doing something here deliberately. I'm like, okay, you're deliberately trying to aggravate me, aren't you? Okay, fine. What? I swear the chest moved. Doesn't seem to be a mimic. Mom will never believe me. Oh well, chest lovey. Mommy, something's wrong with my loot chest. Weird. Mommy's not here. I have a bad feeling about this. Sentient chests. No sign of her. Oh, Mom, here you are. What? Oh, battle time already. I don't like the direction this took. Chests should be moving like this. Could it be related to my nightmare? This is so scary. I suppose that's why they teach turn-based battles as a main subject at school. Let's try. I love that. I love that concept. The green on the ground shows my... Does it show my movement range? I don't remember. Well, that's alright. Okay, then we select attack. I somehow managed to select a move. The teacher always rambles about the importance of the range of a skill, but I never paid enough attention. I just hope this works. It's not, because I didn't... Yeah, I didn't align, because I didn't know. I had no idea what the range was. Ouch, that hurts a lot. Mom, where are you? Oh no, that enemy attack summoned spikes. I remember, our teacher told us about hazards. They're very evil. Spikes in particular, since they hit you when you step on them and right when you start your turn. And my turn is right now. Here they come. Please don't hurt so much! Ouch. Come on, I studied battle theory at school. It has to amount to something. I can still fight. Come at me. What? What? The dream. I'm not scared. I can definitely destroy all of you. That's what a hero would do. Just let me hit you and... I'm still alive. Does that mean I've won? Those weird tentacles, they reminded me of my dream. I'm really scared. I should probably stay home. But that's not what a hero would do. They're so cool and they always do the right... and they always do the right choice. There we go. Your reign of tyranny ends here, evil lord. We'll stop you with the power we gathered along the way. Ooh, I love when they say that. But I'm just a kid. I don't have any incredible power. And even if I did have a final attack, my poor constitution will surely get me killed. If only I could just not get hit. If only there was a way that you could quickly reposition yourself out of the enemy's attack. I wish there was a shorter word for that. I should go to the Goblin Inventor. He lives nearby. Maybe he can be my sidekick and help me fight evil with his cool inventions. I love this idol. It's so cute. Yes, me too. In fact, I was looking at this and be like, wait a minute. Okay, there's clearly some kind of modification because, yeah, this is way more than 3 frames. I'm just wondering what kind of, if this was custom done or was there a plugin that automatically allows for that. But Mom doesn't like him. She forbade me to even go near his laboratory. She says he's a very evil guy. But I believe we can become friends. I just need to cross that bridge. See? It's just... the power of friendship. It's never let anybody down. I need to visit my goblin neighbor. Now, let's all just ignore the fact that this guy has no walking animation. Oh, I didn't realize this was here. A potion. We have an assignment to do on them. Due the next week. I'll probably need it, and I love the strawberry taste. Weird. It has a different taste than usual, and it's like its healing effects got replaced with some other random effect. You learned vertical swipe. Wow. Okay, I did not get this when I played the game. I was just wandering around to stall for time, but oh, hey, another one. Max HP increased by 4. Okay, well, I didn't get either of those my first time through. It's one of those, like, weird balancing acts that you have to do when you're a judge for these things, because as a judge, you have a limited amount of time for each game, whereas players can just, play for as long as they want. So it's one, you have to constantly make a question of, okay, well, do I stay and explore, or do I use my time to push forward as far as I can? I'm normally the type of person that goes, I don't do a lot of exploration, but if the area is small enough, then yeah, I'll comb it over. But generally, I just tend to go from point A to point B, and then just fight everything in my way. Yeah. Hello, good sir. I'm the neighbor. I usually play in the fields nearby, but I never came here. I know you, little brat. I got hit by your training bow too many times. Yeah, see, again, it was kind of hard for me to figure out what all this was supposed to be. Thankfully, there's a field sprite that helps me kind of parse it together, but it actually gets harder to figure out what each pixel on this body means when you look at it so zoomed in. Hey, Nova. Hey, Ozzy. Guess what? Half a chat did your job for you at the start of this stream. So, congratulations. You've become obsolete. You forgot to announce the stream last Monday. I ought to ban you just for that. Just freaking clown. This clown right here. Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir. I was just practicing the fighting lessons we got at school. Please don't hurt me. Why are you here? With a period. With that and not a question mark. Anyhow, see ya. Yeah, whatever, Ozzy. See you in like 5 minutes. Make it quick. I have better things to do. I need your help. Strange things are happening. My mom is nowhere to be found and a chest attacked me. I dreamed about a code shambler. The world is in danger and I want... Little guy, I didn't ask for your reasons. I don't give a fig about what's happening right now. Go straight to the point, or you get kicked out. I want a way to dodge enemy attacks. Dodge? What is that? Like in not getting hit. I know it sounds ridiculous, but... Don't move! Please don't scream, sir. Shh, test subjects don't talk when I'm inspired. Sir, wait, no! By the way, I forgot to check this before going in, but there was a sign just outside the door. And our protagonist tried to read it, but apparently he's too young to read. He's young enough to learn about turn-based battles and how to shoot a bow, but not quite enough to read. So yeah, just thought I'd bring that up for no real reason. Here, done. You know, whatever he did to me, I think he needs to worry about himself first, because there's a weird stray set of pixels right there during the animation. Yeah. Stop being a nerd, Nova. No. I like being a nerd. The world is run by nerds. Therefore, I will run the world one day. I'm still in one piece. What did you do? I rewired some parts of your code pathways. Now you may be able to avoid some attacks. Aren't we all nerds? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you call me a nerd? Like, you call me a nerd? As if I wasn't born this way? You think I popped out of my mom going goo goo gaga variables and switches? You think that's what happened? No. I found it and I became obsessed with it. So there you go. Seeing if you betrayed nerds or not. I would never betray my people. Also, hey Nirwanda, welcome in. How you doing? Nova, gender bend tsundere dating. Listen, I may be a nerd, but I've got my limits, alright? You probably were born with it. You think you buy the goo goo gaga variables and switches? You think my first words were plugin and overload or alias? Nova, can I destroy Ragnarok? Yes, you said with no hesitation. You should settle that beef with Ragnarok. Go right ahead. Code pathways? Your words confuse me, sir. This toddler's starting to get on my nerves. Do you want to try it or not? Your first word was Yanfly? What? Wait, hang on. That doesn't make me a nerd. That makes me a prophet. I'm fairly certain Yanfly was not doing RPG Maker scripts when, like, the day that I was born. Do you want to try it or not? Wait, how exactly? Let's start. Yeah. I like how in this world it contextualizes turn. Oh wait, there it is. Dodge at your right. Okay, admittedly, I should have done what I did initially. Because here's the thing, a little note for the dev. When it said your right, I didn't know who you was talking about, was referring to. So I was looking at the character. And the way that the character was facing, I was like, wait, the character's right? So maybe that's my Resident Evil tank controls brain kicking in. But when I saw your right, I assumed that meant the character's right. So I dodged up my first try. And that was an error. And then I came back here. And it reset. So thankfully the dev thought of that, but I just thought that the dev should know. Did I dodge? Oh wow, I've never seen something like this. Watch out though, you dodged onto some spikes. No, not the spikes. Stay calm, you may dodge them as well. Concentrate and listen carefully. Stay ready and dodge at any direction only when the spikes start coming out. And hence the hint. Oh, well, never mind. Why do you keep spikes in your laboratory? I said to concentrate. Dodge at the spike sound. And there it is. So that's the tutorial for dodging. So that's where the weird name dodge at now comes in. So you get a dodge at, and then you get a hint. And then that hint is going to be how you dodge. Gneth. Impressive. And we won right away. Wow, I didn't expect it to work. It's so cool. For one time I can get tolerate your enthusiasm. I'm surprised that's even possible. Well, now on to serious matters. The bill is 1.800 gold. That is a period, not a comma. So I just need to pick up 1 gold coin and then like what? 8 coppers? Or sorry, 8 silvers, and then I'm good. That's your American showing? And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with Americans? The bill, I don't take checks, but I can accept payments in potatoes as well. In the EU, they use a period, not a comma, there. Well, they're wrong. Here in America, we're right on everything that we do. I don't have all that money. In South America, too. Really? Huh. What? Didn't you see that obvious sign at the entrance? Oh, so that's why I brought up that sign earlier. I always expect immediate payment, no credit, and I definitely don't do charity. But I really can't afford that. Then I have no other choice. Come here, I need to dismantle you. Unfortunately, the removal process can get quite more complex. Mommy, help me! I won't allow a customer to run away without paying. You, Bob, and also you, Kungestorf. Go get him immediately. Kill him, even. Nobody shirks payment on me. Roger, boss. Kungstorf. I told you to chase him. Kungestorf? I'm here, boss. Sorry for being late. What's wrong with me today? What the? I mean, did you hear me? Chase that little brat. Right onto that. Haha, beyond expectations, because you expected that second goblin to actually be Kungestorf. Leaves. I don't trust in their skills. I should prepare my inventions and look for him as well. Please, leave me alone. I said I'm really sorry. Here he is. Get him. Aggressive rustling of leaves. Shaka, 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 shaka. Dodge at the last moment. Never mind that. I'm like fairly certain that's impossible because I was trying to hit that as much as I could. But yeah, it just never worked out. How I'm not dead yet. Oh, how lucky. I landed on a rock. Which feels awfully similar to how my bed was like before it became rigid. Oh, how lucky I landed on a rock is something that no one should ever say ever. Oh, hey, tutorial fights. Where did we? Nah, there he is, the kid. Give me a moment. I think I broke a leg. We're on the job, Kungestorf. No slacking off. Also, you don't have a leg. Sad rustling of leaves. Okay, dodge time. Or gameplay time. So how much is this? Okay, so it's just vertical. Okay, that's hence the name vertical swipe. Ouch. What? I thought I could dodge anything. Was that not true? I knew it was too good to be true. Dodge at the spike sound. Got it. Okay, well, we're just gonna smack you. No, please, not again. Why? In the stories, the superheroes never fall victim of the evil guy's attacks. Am I destined to succumb to stronger attacks? Maybe I was not intended to dodge attacks after all. I just want to go hide in my mattress fortress in my living room. If I was in my mattress barricade, this enemy wouldn't be able to even touch me. Wait, what if I feel something? Maybe it can work. Dodge at the shield barricade. And then you play a minigame. You just gotta collect all the shields. Yeah, it wasn't actual dodging. It's just... Oh, not right nor up. Okay, left. And then dodge at the spike sound. There it is. So yeah, you play... So it's not like actual dodging. It is... just play minigames to dodge. Shield barricade. Alright, I got this. Nailed it. Not left. Okay, easy enough. And then vertical swipe, I can hit both of them at once. There you go. Go. Nice. That was amazing. It was like when the hero fights the demon lord. Pa, pang, pim, you're dead. I'm still quite in trouble, though. Let's see if I can find an exit. All right, so you'll notice that we're not getting any experience or levels as we play. And also that there's no menu because I'm hitting the buttons. There's no menu we can access. So yeah, the encounters in this game are fixed encounters. But it also means that you're kind of not leaving a lot of experience on the floor. Which I've got a couple minds of. On one hand, I appreciate that you don't have to like grind. Because clearly that's not what this game's all about, right? It's about mini games. It's about dodging and just doing mini games. On the other hand, the fixed encounter system means that literally every encounter that you come across, you're going to be leaving something behind. Because the enemies in this game all guard a potion, as you will come to learn. So any enemy that you don't defeat is just pickups and power-ups that you just won't get. No, I'm just going to do a basic attack. I'm just going to finish you off. Now, luckily, this game's not exactly super challenging, right? And as long as you can succeed in the mini-games and keep dodging everything, you'll be fine. Did I just shoot myself? Okay. Dodge at your left. Okay. Not right nor up. Okay. There you go. You learned Balloon Pop. Whatever that is. So yeah, so a game like this, you really do want to explore and just grab everything because, yeah, you see that potion there? Now every enemy is just gonna be garden potions. Now, next I need to know. Oh right, Balloon Pop. It is kind of weird that they don't give you like descriptions for what these skills do. But at the same time, you can just select them and then, you can see their radius. But that leads me to believe that the only difference between these skills are the radius. Oh yeah, Diamond Path. Yeah. Yeah, so you had to trace that line perfectly. If you went off for any reason, then you would fail. And I think every enemy has its own unique minigame, which is pretty neat. Dodge at the Diamond Road. Up spikes. Got it. My memory is not that bad, I guess. So the other issue that I'm seeing is that you're giving me a number, 5 MP, and yet I don't have a maximum number of HP or MP showed on screen. It's just a meter. So 5 MP, I have no idea what that means. It could be a lot, could be a little. So let's check it out. So that's what 5 MP looks like. So I'm guessing I've got 20 to 25 MP just by looking at this, but I don't see why you can't just display the number on screen. 20 MP? I said, that's close enough, right? 20, 25, whatever. Well, that was another 5 MP, and then yet, here we go. So maybe that was 15 MP. Maybe we were both wrong. Actually, yeah, let me use the skill one more time, and then we'll know for sure. Got it. Nailed it. Okay, and then Balloon Pop. Yeah, that's it. So we have 15 MP. Now, thankfully, base movement increased by 1. That's a huge boost. That's massive. That is not something you should ever, for any reason, want to bypass. Which means that it's, I don't want to say it's a requirement, that that you fight every single enemy. But that is kind of like you would be very dumb to willingly leave enemies behind. So, luckily, you regain, there's no worry about resource management because you regain full HP and MP after every fight, which is good. I like that. But now, basic attack increased by 1. So there's potions that just on the ground as well as guarded by enemies. I'm thinking out loud here, so don't take this as an actual like suggestion, but if the potions were different, like if you could visually tell the difference between the potions, like a potion having like a different bottle shapes depending on whether it's a stat boost or if you get a new skill or whatever. Then you can look at the potion that's being guarded by enemies and you can think to yourself, okay, this is something that I really want, or this is not something that I want. You know? But yeah, as it is, I have no idea if I'm about to fight a fight to just get a +1 in attack, or if I'm going to learn a new skill, or if I can increase my base movement by 1. But the mini games are fun enough anyway, so I don't really think it's a huge deal if you don't have that info, but it's just something to think about for the dev. Alright, dodge at the shield barricade. Oh, the ghost needs to dodge as well. Okay. Good to know. I'm sorry, did my character just disappear right there? Oh, that was weird. No! Oh. You know, I do appreciate that even though this is a game all about dodging, I'm still given some leeway. Right? I can still make some mistakes. Alright, come at me. Oh crap. I think I'm gonna get hit by this attack. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit. Alright, dodge at the spikes down again. And you're done. Got it. Got it. Man, enough with this. Okay. Just attack. Done. Okay, one more. Nice. Okay, yeah, these attacks are not stronger than my basic attack. Not down nor left. Okay. Okay, they're a little stronger than my basic attack. Yeah, get wrecked. And now, for my efforts, I got headbutt. What could that possibly mean? Oh, by the way. Forgot. I wanted to check this out. I'm not able to read yet, but there are skulls drawn around it. I don't think entering is a great idea for now. Hey, Fake Coffee. Have you ever played or watched anything that made you go from WTF to what in the actual F? A few things, yeah. I'm scared. This part of the cave feels very eerie. Better avoid it for now. The exit is probably somewhere else. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to come back here at some point. Not a problem. This game's fun enough. I don't mind a little extra exploration. It's a good thing that games like these definitely show this to my face very quickly, so that it gives me an incentive to come back here. In the biz, we call this foreshadowing to what I'm about to say. If you played this game, then you know. And I've already been here. Also, Steam confuses me. How? I'm a console user, to be honest. Yeah, same here. Steam, okay, so if you've never touched Steam before, then yeah, that's just something you'll have to get used to. Finally, I'm out. But this place, it's not the time. It's not the time. Now that I'm out, I need to find a way to save the world. Whatever it means. How do heroes save the world exactly? They make it sound so easy, by defeating the big bad evil guy with. But nobody told me I have to find him first. Oh no! The tentacles that are all perfectly in sync. It found me. I found the enemy, but I really, really, really regret looking for it. It's over, but at least it cannot go worse than this. Haha, we call that comedic timing. Skenuff. I finally found you, you penniless pipsqueak. Mister, please, this is not really the moment for... Spare your words. Explosion caster machine, do your thing. I'll just dodge it. How exactly? This explosion caster is made specifically for you. The hit range is too big, even for your dodge skill. Mister, I know I didn't behave well, but I really can't afford... I hate when they talk too much. Die! They're a bit mesmerizing, all synced like that. You think it's working then? You think the whole point of the synchronized tentacle dancing is to mesmerize you before it destroys you? Please dodge, please dodge. And I'm dead. And this is what happens when you die. The bad end. It's over. At the end, I couldn't do anything. I just wanted to be like those heroes of the stories. Bold, determined, and ready to save the world. But at the end, I'm just a kid. I wasn't able to avoid this fate. You're right, you couldn't avoid it. But I have to try something. Could you dodge the fate? Dodge at this ending. We're dodging. We're dodging death. Whoa, that's super cool. I can return to previous moments of my adventure. Now this is a superpower. I could return back, try other choices. There's a chance. And maybe, just maybe, I can become a hero. Ouch, he really caught me off guard. I can definitely find a way to dodge that, now that I know his trick. Let's try again, right now. Well, alrighty then. But hey, let's take a look. Oh, section not available in this version. Admittedly, this is where it started to fall apart for me. I understand. Jams happen. They happen, right? Sometimes you just can't get everything out. But I remember just getting so disheartened at all the stuff that's putting in my face and it's saying, oh yeah, you can't play it yet. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Not available in this version. Then why even have it? Because, so this is a question I've been wrestling with. Because you didn't have to have these nodes here, right? I don't even know what a red node does. And then apparently there's alternate pathways. Okay, cool feature, but I can't play it. And spoiler alert, you won't be able to in this game. Seems I'm not able to go back any further from here. Yeah. So, I get it. Life happens. Sometimes you can't complete the idea that you wanted to put out there. But man, it really sucks to see like all these cool things for a core gameplay loop that's super solid that I love. And then look at all this stuff that it wants you to get excited about and it's just not there. Like, for me personally, I don't need this. I don't need to be told this section is not available in this version because what's already here is great. I really love it. So, if I heard that there was going to be an update to this game, I'm there. Immediately. So, I don't know, but that's just my opinion. Don't worry, that's not affecting the judging process, because I'm only playing what's here. I'm just talking about as a player, from a player's perspective. Because I'm just like, bro, come on, man. That sucks to see. Reminds me of when I saw someone streaming Dragon Quest III Remake, and there's a chest that when you check it, it says something like, this is for those who pre-ordered the game and you can't open it. Oh yeah, I also played Dragon Quest III. I also got to that part, and I also got pissed off at that too. Like, I'm trying to get immersed. I remember saying I was trying to get immersed in that game, and before I was able to do that, nope, by the way, this is just a video game. It's like, come on. Oh, that made me so mad. My friend is a writer. He also does podcasts and review games. Ooh, sounds like a cool friend. Anyway, Inventor Goblin Shambling Encounter. Enter. Snuff. Alright. It doesn't matter. I can dodge everything you throw at me. Straight to the point. I like it. Can't you save this for later? The world will end if we don't find the source of those tentacles. Gah, I just complimented you. Don't make me regret it. Let's be crystal clear. I don't care about what will happen. The only thing I care about is that you missed your payment. Should I use RPG Playground in practice? Yeah, of course. Is RPG Playground free? If so, then yeah. You can use anything to practice. Like, I don't know RPG Playground. I've never touched that. I've never even looked at it, so I don't know how good that is as a program, but if they're both built on centering RPGs, then yeah, I'm sure there's some transferable skills from RPG Playground to RPG Maker. Okay, it's this moment again. Let's dodge this like a hero. I came here without a plan. I mean, you normally wait to get a prompt, and then you can dodge. Dodge, now! Well, it's over. Have a great stream. No problem, Fake Coffee. Thanks for dropping by. Fire! I'm you, but from the future. What? That was my exact reaction. I was like, what? WTF. It was like, where did this come from? But then I remember going back to that node. I was like, wait, that's actually what could happen. Because a different part of me could go revisit this node. And then, yeah, be like, all right. In another timeline, I discovered a trick to dodge into a different reality. And, oh, right, time has stopped. I suppose nobody can hear me. I like this. Like, this is wit. Like, this is funny humor. Like, good humor. As opposed to, like, constant, like, fart jokes and shock value. It's a nice... this kind of humor is just, like, clever writing, clever scenarios. Like, this is more up my speed. Because I've been playing a few games that, like, try to use more crass humor. And, you know, I'll give those a chuckle. But, yeah, stuff like this is memorable. For me, at least. Still, I'm gonna save you. Me. Oh no, it's time obsidian. It's just a rock, but I need to push it out of the way. If I can push my other self out of the radius of the attack, I'm gonna be saved. Dodge at the Scorpion Paradox. I think that's a parody of something, but I'm not sure what. Let's just get you out of there. I did my duty. Goodbye. Guigny? How did you... I see. Another dodge. How clever. You know, I kind of underestimated you when I installed this power on you. Dodge at the theme drop. I gotta say that this dodge ability of yours went beyond expectations. I knew something with this is gonna happen. Yeah. So Sokoban is an old puzzle game about pushing boxes. Gotcha. The only box pushing puzzle game I remember was about, what was it, Shove It? Yeah, it's one of those, like, it was on those, like, bootleg systems. Yeah. Boxes World, that was it. That was what I was thinking of. This video is beyond expectations. Cringe damage! And that's... you know, moments like these make me... it's the downside of not doing these live. Because I can recount my exact state of mind between those last few seconds. I was like, as soon as I see dodge at the theme drop, I was like, don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it! And then he did it, and then I cringed, and then the main character cringed. And I was like, oh, yeah. So all I will say is, you know exactly what you're doing, Waldorf. You know exactly what you're doing. Oh, man. A very funny joke that I'm sure anyone who plays this game outside of the game jam is going to fall completely flat. But whatever. But don't you think that was my only trick up my sleeve? Get ready. Which is funny because he doesn't have sleeves. Anyway, time for a battle. What the... oh, right. I was on a tile that had... yeah, I pressed down and my character went up. There we go. It looks like controls are reversed. Okay, attack range is not... it's not there. Oh, man. No. I can't hit him. Dodge at the Diamond Road. Ah, crap. Yeah, okay, that's got to be more damage because it was just a smaller radius. All right, the Diamond Road. Got it. Man, I'm good. Ah, whoops. Okay. And now I'm out of MP, so I have to just use attacks, because unfortunately there's no real way to recover MP. Oh, hey, the guy's back. Alright, so now I just have to... uh-oh. Oh, yep. Well, I'm dead. I'm trying to figure out how I could have actually done that. But hey. Let's dodge. Death. The end of the line. Yeah, that took me a few tries because I died a couple of times here. Because I didn't know the exact timing. But yeah, so it's flash and then screen flash and then dodge. Lucky me. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Jet. Okay, this one again. There we go. Gah, you're a pretty tough kid. Listen, sir, I really, really don't want to fight right now. But despite that, you fought very well. Listen, kid, I may have overreacted just a little. Just a little. Yeah. But you see, money is something you can't understand yet. Since I was young, my parents taught me about. Damn, you beated me so badly that I almost started one of those random ramblings that I hate. Oh no, the evilness. It's getting darker. I fear that this world is done for, and so our life, but I regret nothing. Wait, you can't just accept that so suddenly. Those little whippersnappers, they'll never understand adult matters. You know, I think you could survive. Before everything goes away, I will ask you for a last experiment. Have you tried dodging death? Yes, I have, actually. In this very fight. Don't act like we haven't done this before, buddy. Because, yeah, it's time to dodge death. It's getting closer. This is a goodbye. Whoops. Yeah, nailed it. And then there we go. There's Dodge at Now. So that was a demo for Dodge at Now. So yeah, an excellent idea. It really is just a shame that I just didn't have time to really flesh itself out. Because yeah, this was just a demo. So yeah, I would love to see this being developed as a full product. Special thanks everyone who participated in the development streams. Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw Waldorf was streaming development of the game, but don't dodge the updates. Yeah, but yeah, as I was a judge, I couldn't drop by. I wanted to, but I had to stay as far away from these from development streams as I could. So yeah, that's it. Can we replay these? Okay, yeah, we can replay these. You know what? Just out of curiosity, was that area? Because actually, this is where I stopped. But you know, I never did go back to see. Maybe I could go back into that scary room. No. Okay. Yeah, that's just a demo thing. It's just not here in the demo, which sucks. So yeah, great idea. Very good idea for dodging. The dodge prompt offers a lot of chances for mini games and also blends very well with the story, because you can have dodge prompts for jokes, as we saw with the Beyond Expectations joke. So yeah, that was great. So I love it when gameplay can be used in story, because as someone who really values narrative design, I think that's just a great touch. But yeah, I'm on board with it. Just like the Respawn banter, these are great ideas, and I completely trust the brain behind it. So yeah, Waldorf, you've made a big mistake. You've caught my attention, because now I'm gonna be watching you. So yeah, let's see how it shapes up for Dodge at Now and the Respawn banter. You enjoying this free PR I'm giving you? But yeah, that was a great time. Waldorf, you did great. You should be proud of what you've done here. So I am very sad that what you guys saw was the extent. But what was here, very nice. With that being said, that is that. That was Dodge at Now. Now, what was the other game that we had? I had on the docket for today. So, in continuing with the theme, this is also another game that has one single party member. And I think works out very well because the game systems was built around it. So you just have to be a little clever in your implementation, and you too can pull something off like this. And there we go. This one is What Lies Beneath. You guys can check it out right there. So, admittedly, you see a title screen like this, and you're just like, okay, well, what's this supposed to do? Because, title screens are your gateway to the world that you're about to enter. So a solid black title screen, it's like, what do you, whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. Whatever. I guess we're starting. Wake up. Wake up, I say! Oh, you are finally awake. You took quite the fall. I didn't expect that you would survive that. Where are you? Deeper inside the cave. Try to make it to me. You are injured, but I'm sure you can walk. I cannot heal you properly when you are this far away. You can move with the arrow keys. Thank you for that. Is that Dante from the Devil May Cry series featuring Dante? Look at you referencing SMT memes. How many SMT games you play, Rag? Seems like this floor in this room has collapsed. Try to jump over the narrow gap. You can make it. You can jump over small gaps by pressing space or enter in front of the gap. Just the MMO. There was an SMT MMO? Wait a minute. What the hell? Oh, that's what that was? Oh, I've heard of SMT Imagine. I didn't know it was an MMO. Huh. How in the world would an SMT MMO actually work? Huh. Oh, wow. That was a long time ago. Huh. It was interesting. It's gone now. Oh, man. As MMOs tend to do. Yeah. I'd play it now if it was still up. That sucks. You think there's some fans that went in and probably made their own private server? Yeah. As for Final Fantasy, I only played FF7 and Mystic Quest. Really now? Mystic Quest was a good game. I'll die on this hill. Yeah, go right ahead. I've not played it. I've seen reviews of it, and it definitely seems like the game I do not want to play. But yeah, I'm sure it did exactly what it set out to do. Yeah. There was a fan server that kept it going for a long time, but Atlas took it down. Oh, come on, man. I mean, I get it, but come on. Okay, well, quick little message for the dev. I'm going to recount a very embarrassing moment that I had with this game. And because that's just what I am. But I think it's important to note. So it's true. The tutorial message did say you can jump across small gaps. But when you pair that with a scene like this, it makes me think that only specific gaps can be jumped across, because these gaps here are highlighted. They have special tiles that you don't see anywhere else. So whenever I try to look for gaps to jump across, I spent the first part of this game looking for those specific tiles, or at the very least tiles that stuck out from the ground. But yeah. Also, you'll notice that despite this super obvious retro look, there is pixel movement. Yeah, it's not tile-based movement. Interesting combination there. They even block this tunnel? Vermin. Push it as far as you can. Thankfully, it is not one of those heavy blocks. You can interact with different things by pressing enter or space when facing them. Try pushing the block forward. Watch out. Those vermin littered this place with traps. The way I read things is gonna be so confusing for people who only have me as background noise. Like if you're not looking at, like, for those that don't know, I'm reading the text exactly as it's printed. I'm not trying to infer anything. Right? So if I sound like I'm suddenly just doing broken English, it's because I'm reading it as they are. So sometimes you don't notice that. For months, I thought you couldn't. Seriously? But yeah, no, I am reading these exactly as they are. He can't. Listen, they don't need to know that, Aaron. Yeah, you know what? I blame this. I blame that habit that I have of reading text exactly as it is, for my inability to read. Because I'm not normally like this. Like, I can read this stuff, and then I know what they're trying to say, but sometimes you need to have this stuff read aloud before you notice that there's some problems with the spelling and the grammar. And I know this because I've been working on Prayer of the Faithless for 7 years. 7 straight years, right? But before the final release, I had the game sent off to like several different testers, and they all came back with pages and pages of typos that were in the freaking prologue. The prologue of that game. That prologue that has been publicly available for years up till that point. I'm like, how the hell did I not notice that? And yeah, so that's why when I try to read this stuff like aloud, I try to read them with the typos, with the grammar errors. Because, you know, a lot of you, when you read, like, and myself included, when you read this text, you know what they're trying to say, but it's a whole different thing to actually have, like, the text that you want to read is different from the text that's actually there. And that's why I try to read the text as it's actually there. Because it helps, because rather than take the time and go, oh, there's a typo here, there's a typo here, you can just listen to how the sentence is read and be like, wait, that's not right. Yeah. The grandma errors. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Try to run past them when they're down. You're already healthy enough for a little sprint. You can sprint by pressing shift. So I've mentioned this a few times before, but actually, you know what? Let me move to it. Let me wait until it shows up for a different thing. But yeah, text boxes should contain entire ideas. If your text box is small enough that you need a whole nother text box just to have 1 or 2 extra words, you need to rewrite your sentence so that the whole text box contains the whole word. Not only does it really break up your reading, even when you're reading it internally, when you're trying to read stuff, either internally or externally, you put in pauses, you put in breaks in the speech, even when it doesn't make sense. So yeah, you need to rewrite your sentences so that entire sentences are contained within one text box. All right, there we go. Okay, so I can't tell if this is more of a personal preference or if this is something that's actually a real issue when it comes to games like these, but when you opt for very low res pixel art and you're trying to replicate the NES style graphics, I get that. I respect that. However, when you have stuff that does not adhere to that, such as perfect pixel movement, and when you're dashing, your sprites kind of morph. Like, I get this is the Visustella like character shift when you're sprinting, but that does not adhere to the graphical style of those types of games. So every time I see that, I'm like, okay, I have a big issue with this. I just think that really hurts the presentation, especially when you're also, I can't show it now, but when you have text that's severely anti-aliased. It's like, no, that breaks the aesthetic. That's a style clash. Oh, can't go through here. Yeah, so there you go. So we have very low-res pixel art here, and then you have anti-aliased text. I'm like, that looks wrong. That looks super out of place. Yeah, I disable that shift ASAP. Yeah. I mean, I get it, right? Like, I get why it's there, because sometimes it's a great way to make your character look like they're running. And for more high-res pixel art, I think it's a good alternative, especially when you don't have the time or the resources or the skill to put in to create your own running animations. Obviously that's ideal, but sometimes you have to make compromises, especially if you're making like a jam game. But I feel like those compromises can't. I feel like you lose more than you gain when you keep those small style clashes in when it comes to super low res pixel art. Remember, decisions like these don't come in a bubble, right? Because if you just ignore the fact that this is NES style aesthetics, if you ignore the fact that you're not doing like tile-based movement, fine. There's nothing wrong with this kind of style shift. But you're not. You have everything comes together as a coherent package. And because everything else about this game's presentation, very nice. I love the pixel art being used here. I love the obvious low grade retro aesthetics. I believe this is a retro art pack. I may be about to show off my ignorance here, but this style the art being used here reminds me a lot of Scarmond by Effium. I don't know if you guys have played that. I think there's some similar asset packs being used between the two games. I just may be talking out of my ass here. But, yeah, that's just what it reminds me of. Hey, Narcotis, welcome in. How you doing? Yeah. So, I say this because I'm questioning whether or not this main character sprite is custom for this game or not. Just to be clear, it's not a problem if it's not. It's perfectly fine if this is also part of a different spat. There's a huge official 8-bit asset pack. Awesome. That's great. And yeah, that definitely could be used more. So this is all to just kind of bring up the idea that, yeah, I don't think the dev could have made running animations for this because of time constraints. It's not a problem. But the dev chose to keep the running shift in. And for a game with this low pixel art resolution, I think that's a style clash. And that's just what it is. Come now, traveler, and approach. Do not be afraid. I do not bite. I hope you weren't expecting a princess. Ha ha ha. Ha. With no period. I say, you took quite a fall. You could have died had I not used what little remains of my magic to save you. Thank you, but what are you? You know, I appreciate this. I appreciate that there are a couple ways you can handle this, right? The main character could have had their own text box. Could have done that. Instead, we have a single choice, but it's a choice that you make. So it's like you, the player, are asking the question. So whether or not you think this is a good implementation of this, I think it's more down to personal preference, but I appreciate the attempt. because at least you're being consistent. You're taking the idea of player choice dialogue, and yeah, you're giving the illusion of choice because you don't really have any choice. But a lot of these old games have either yes or no responses, because I remember like Zelda games, like Game Boy Color Zelda games, that like the Link's only dialogue was yes or no. And you know, like Golden Sun, you can only say yes or no. But here we're having a blend of that. It's like, hey, here's a whole phrase, but you only have that one choice. So, you know, I appreciate that. You're quite welcome, traveler. As for your question, period. I suppose you have never seen a dragon before. Yeah, see, I suppose you have never seen a dragon before. That could have fit into one single text box. You did not have to have part of that in the previous text box, because that just breaks up the flow of the dialogue. A dragon? No, I have not. Ah, yes, we are quite the reserved race. People used to worship us back in the day, you know. But let's not dwell. How do you say dwell with only one L? Dwell on the past. We are in quite the pickle here. A hot one, I might add. Ha ha ha. Apologies, it has been a while since I've had someone to converse with. Yeah, see, like you guys, this is especially why it's important to read this stuff out loud, because when you have like extra dialogue with one word, yeah, it just breaks up your natural reading flow. Now, I'm sure you would like to get out of here and get back to your family, correct? Yes, my daughter. Now I could have used my magic to teleport you out of this dungeon, but I cannot at the moment. You see, I was napping here several centuries ago, and some disgusting vermin sealed me here by flooding my chamber with lava, which apparently you are finding as a nice comfort bath. I'm assuming this is lava that we're all in. They even built an entire dungeon to keep anyone from reaching the seal and prevent me from escaping. If you can help me by going through that dungeon and blocking the lava, that would release my seal. I can then get us both out of here. Anything if I can get back. Excellent. Now let me heal you with what the remains. Sorry. Again, I think this is a side effect of me trying to read everything as is, because stuff catches me off guard, and I'm like, I have to go back and reread this. Let me heal you with what the remnants of my magic. Okay, I think I could have read that 100 times and that wouldn't make sense, because that's just busted English. You feel your health and energy recover. Yeah, see, there's another style clash. A dim window. Because that implies that, like, that's a level of softness that just clashes strongly with this very low-res pixel art. Now you can head down and you will find a red crystal. That is the entryway to the dungeon. Be careful. The dungeon is infested with monsters and littered with traps and puzzles. If you ever feel hurt, come back here and I shall heal you. Also, take these supplies. They will help. Press escape to open the menu, see your status, and access your inventory. Press escape again to close the menu. Well, I'm a rebel. I don't listen to that. I press X. Yeah, Cain. And then that's all you have. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it when games take out commands that you know you're not going to need. That's just an extra little bit of effort that you didn't have to do, but as a player of these games, I appreciate. A lot of RPG Maker devs, like, just leave all that stuff in, even though the game never makes use of it. And I feel like that's dangerous for your game. Because you look at some of this stuff, and you can tell, like, first impressions of games are very important, because when you look at this kind of information, you look at the information and the options available to you, naturally you would think that the game would take advantage of them in some way. So when I see custom menus like these that take away a bunch of options, I'm like, okay, yeah. Clearly the game was planned for this. and I definitely appreciate that. A fine steel sword with a fine leather-bound handle. It has been well maintained. Okay, fine leather armor made of the skin of a red wolf. A delicate gold ring with the name Edel engraved inside. A bittersweet reminder of a love lost. One thing I appreciate less, though, is the anti-aliased, bit-crushed battler here. I get it. That's just how he looks, but oh man. That's just another one for the style clash. Also, in terms of style clash, boy, does that crystal blend into the lava, doesn't it? Ugh. Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, not... I know these aren't the devs' resources, but man, if you're going to do that, please put, like, a barrier, or, like, a border, or something. Teleport to dungeon? Yes. Blocks and traps reset when you return from the dungeon. Enemies also respawn when you move through with a little cutoff there. Different floors or return from the dungeon. And there we go. Music starting. Alright, good stuff. There was something else I was going to bring up, and alright, whatever. Okay. Now, welcome to the fight. Okay, attack, guard, skills, items, or escape. Alright, pretty simple. Let's just start off with attack. And then skills, we have no skills. So. Admittedly, again, first impressions of these are a little shaky. I get that you want to start simple. It's okay if you want to start simple. But I feel like for a single character, please give me at least one skill to use. Because auto attacks, like, at this point, the game might as well play itself. Like, you don't... Okay, so you don't actually have to have a skill, right? Because the beginning of the game is how you're supposed to learn the flow of battle, the basic flow of battle. And everything from then on is supposed to build off of that basic flow. But this is the gameplay that we're starting off with. Admittedly, very simple, but... So, what this tells me is that despite the fact... Hey, Ryan, welcome in. Solo protag? Yes, solo protag. So what this tells me when I play a game like this, with skills that you actually can't even see from the menu. I'm just realizing this. So clearly skills are not that important. It's not important for you to kind of look at what your character can do. So based on what I've seen so far, battles are clearly not the priority. The battles are more just going hand in hand with what we see here. With the puzzles and the platforming and the dungeon crawling. Which, okay, fair enough. I can deal with that. Now, and here's the part where I need to expose my embarrassment. I did spend an awful amount of time stuck at this spot right here. Because I'm like, what the hell do I do? I thought I had to jump across this. But I have to remind you that the first time that I've seen a jumping tutorial was with two very special tiles that stood out from the rest of the ground. So I was looking for those tiles specifically. I couldn't find them. Turns out, you don't need them. Literally any one tile gap you can jump across. And I also think that's why the dev put in pixel movement, because of a dungeon like this. Because if you had just basic RPG Maker tile mapping, if you had, if you tried to turn right here, you would just immediately fall into the pit and get hurt. So I think that's why the dev did that. However, we played a couple of games on here where you can still have the tile-based movement, but if you turn up and turning around gives you like a quarter of a second delay where the character turns in that direction and then you can keep moving. Barely noticeable unless you're looking for it. But it also retains the tile-based movement. And as you're going to find out, it might be better that way, to go tile-based movement. And I will show you why in just a second. Okay, so we've been fighting rats up to this point. Okay, slime, not a problem. So it's going to be just another basic battle, right? Just hit them as hard as you can. Oh, wait, nope. No, it's not. Also, you want to talk about style clash. Be very, very careful when you resize these pixels. In fact, let me check this real quick. Yeah, it's still like that. So, when I think the dev resized these pixels, but look at what effect that had when you have these smaller slimes. Look at how the pixels are all in different resolutions. That just looks gross. And if you're not a pixel artist, I've just now pointed it out to you, and now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Mixel? I don't think so. I don't know if I would call it mixels. Yes, it's true. The core symptom of that is still the same. Like the pixels here are at different resolution. But when I hear mixels, I think of deliberately using pixel art at different resolutions. What we're looking at here, I think, is just the unfortunate result of resizing the asset. Resizing assets that were never meant to go smaller than their original design. I think that's what we're looking at here. Which, yeah. The end result is still the same. It looks bad. It looks very messy. But I feel like the cause is a little bit different. But then again, I'm no expert on the idea of these. I'm no expert on this kind of thing. So, yeah. Okay, now we learn a skill. Kick, huh? Well, okay, what can kick do? Oh wait, we don't know that. Yeah. So yeah, I admit, I'm not the smartest, but yeah, at least I wanted the dev to know why I got stuck. I feel because I'm not doing these live, I feel like I owe the dev that much to at least let the dev know why I got stuck here. Anyway, eventually I figured it out. But not without costing some, I want to say like 10 minutes or so. Just kind of wandering around trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Also, a little nice detail I appreciate, full heal upon level up. I really, really do appreciate that. Okay, kick. Kick with a chance to stun. Oh, okay, cool. Or we could just kill him. That wasn't a kick, that was a curb stomp. The door's locked, seems like it needs a key. There's a symbol of a rat on the door. And then there's a instant heal. Boy, I sure do wish that I had a choice to use that. Because now I just cost myself a full HP and MP heal that I did not need because I was already full because I just leveled up. Okay, and here's why I think it's better to use tile-based movement. Look at that. You could just stand on the spikes, and it's not a problem. However, the moment you move when the spikes are active... Watch this. You're dead. You didn't expect to die peacefully now, did you? No, not just yet. You have things to do. Things I expect of you. I wonder who's talking. Oh my, you almost died there. When your life force waned, I tried to pull you back here. Looks like that worked. Here, let me heal you. Be cautious. The dungeon is treacherous. I pray you release the seal soon. So, small detail that I definitely appreciate. There is no game over. At least not from death. So, when your HP hits 0, then, yeah, it's fine. Which is great, because if you'll notice, there's no save option. I don't know why the game does this, but you can only play this game with autosaves. There's no manual saving, which I hate. You see the sacrifice that I have to do just to show you guys these games? I gave up all of my progress because the dev took away all the extra save spots. Like, it's not a matter of, just using a different save file. It's like, no, the dev, by design, does not want me to have different save files. So fine. And now I'm showing you guys the consequences of that. In order to show you guys the beginning of the game again, I have to throw away my progress. Oh, well, Nova, just move your save file somewhere else. Okay, well then I ask you, why did the dev take that function away? It's there by default, right? It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about, stuff like the menu options. It shows that the dev knows what they're doing because they take away options that they don't need. So then why is saving included in those options that were taken away? Artistic choice? Maybe. I don't see what's artistic about it, though. Oh, by the way, you notice I just got hit? Yeah. You walk into the spikes. Not a problem. And that's why the pixel art movement is super weird. Because every pixel that you move on the spikes, every pixel counts as a separate hit. Which means, you saw that one hit? I went from like 35 to 30 HP. Now I went from 60. It was because I walked several pixels in there. I'm like, dude, just kill me. Just kill me if you're gonna do that. Don't even try. But yeah, that can be frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Oh man. Yeah, that's why I think it's better to just go back to tile-based movement for a game like this. Also, it adheres to the tile style of games of old. Oh, well, here we go. And no, enemies are not... Excuse me. Enemies do not get affected by spikes. Which, yeah, feels kind of lame. Whatever. Boy, this is very tedious, isn't it? If only there was a way I could take them out quicker. Kind of weird that I'm not getting a status. Like, I don't know how close I am to leveling up again. You found some action roots. Recovers 10 AP when used. Has a very spicy taste to it that is difficult to get used to. There we go. So yeah, this is just the basic gameplay of what we're seeing right now. It might be a little early. I'm just going to say it. It might be a little early to be introducing us to slimes. Like, I get the idea of... Oh, never mind. Because yeah, level 3. Never mind. In fact, I remember going back through my notes. I'm like, yeah, as soon as the game presents to you a certain problem in battle, it's not long afterwards that you are given the solution. In which case, Sweeping Slash. Which... I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, Sweeping Slash hits every enemy. Which is great, because now that saves us a lot of time when we're fighting these slimes. Now we use Sweeping Slash, swing wide, and hit all enemies. There you go. So now that just saves us a turn. Maybe 2 turns, depending on how many... depending on how many... what is it? How much damage we do right away. I don't need to stun these guys. It's fine. So, hang on, let me check something. So, about that whole thing that I said earlier. Oh, Nova, you must be really stupid, because how could you have possibly missed that one, how could you miss that one gap? One tile gap? Well, what's this then? I'm pressing action right now. Nothing's happening. So clearly, not every one tile gap can be jumped across. Except some can, and the game does not tell you which ones you can and which ones you can't. that I'm going to like. I'm going to say that that's going to cost the game. If you're not going to be consistent, I respect the idea of telling players the tools and then stepping back and letting them figure it out for themselves. So, it was my fault, clearly, that I missed that second tile gap, the one that I showed you at the first floor of this dungeon. My fault. I get that. But what am I supposed to think now that these one tile gaps can't be jumped over? So which is it? Can I only jump over specified gaps? Or was that just a mistake on the devs' part? They just forgot to put in a jump event there. I don't know. We can make assumptions, but I try to learn these games. I try to start from square one for these games, right? So if I'm not being given clear instructions, then you need to designate which gaps I can and can't jump across. If you're not going to be consistent about the natural level design, then you have to tell me. You can't have both. A great beast, a dragon, was bound not slain. Flowing fire became its prison, yet fire may free it. So basically just another way to say, hey, release the lava. Okay. Do you see the true path, or are your eyes covered by the veil of lies? Well, I ain't gonna do that. Oh, hey, look at that! The enemy is just wandering on top of the invisible platforms. And then we have a whole bunch of fights, because that's clearly what this trap room was about. So yeah, every game is different, and I definitely understand if this very simplistic battle system is not everyone's cup of tea. But, to the game's credit, I don't think it's trying to be a particularly deep battle system. It's just kind of there to break up the action, to break up the, not the action, sorry, the platform and the puzzles. And I think on that job, I think it's all right. You know? Oh, and this one I can jump across. Very, very inconsistent, and I don't like that. But you'll notice that these are like short puzzle rooms, like original Legend of Zelda style puzzle rooms. So the combat is very clearly not why you're here. It is one small component for why you're here, but not the sole reason. Whoops. So I understand when people are like, oh, this game is a very simplistic combat system, it's very boring. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not meant to be super complicated. And I think that's fine. It's one of those things where I try my best to look at games as whole packages rather than just the sum of their parts. So if you look at this and go, well, this game is bad because the combat is boring, to me it just feels like you're missing the forest for the trees. It's like it's a golden goose scenario, right? It's like, yeah, you want to tear open the goose and look inside and figure out why it was laying golden eggs, but if you approach games like this in that manner, all you're going to get behind is just a bunch of guts and grime. And you're going to miss the reason why you're playing games like these in the first place. So, it's true. I'm not going to, like, obviously if someone's like, yeah, I don't like this game, that's perfectly fine. I think this game is fine. Is it rough? Yes. But I appreciate the attempt at trying something different. Okay, the door's locked. Seems like it needs a key. There's a symbol of a rat on it. Use the rat key to open the door. This is weird. I don't know. Why would you give me a choice for something that I have literally no reason to say no to? But when it comes to the full HP AP thing, that I remember originally had no idea what that was until I ran into it, there was no choice to be given. I don't really get that. But sure, let's open the key. Let's open the key? Yeah, open the door. Alright, let's go. Yeah, okay. Okay, boss time. And now, we just have to fight. So what's so special about this rat king? But hey, we're stunned. So yeah, just get some free damage. Needles on Guardian's rat back. Stand on it. Oh, what could that possibly mean? Guardian rat calls for help. Oh, alright. We got a bunch of rats. Okay, cool. Now you have to learn, use all the skills that we've learned up to this point and just demolish them. Right after I heal. Yeah. Anytime these rats want to die. Oh, missing. Alright, well. I don't remember seeing that my time in the game. A lot of missing, apparently. Huh. I wonder if there's... Yeah, not getting stunned. Rat got stunned the first time through here, and then all my subsequent attempts have not been able to stun them. So either there's like a law of diminishing returns for this game's battle system, or I was just extremely lucky my first time through. Well, we'll never know because I killed him. He's at level 4, heavy strike learned. Very nice. Okay, we're about to reach the point where I stopped with this game, and you all are about to find out why. You found the Lantern of Truth. So we're doing the Zelda thing. We beat a, except it's kind of inverse Zelda. We beat a boss, and then we get an item. Or unless we're doing the mini-boss formula, and then we just beat a mini-boss. Press Tab to see past the veil. I want everyone to remember that. Press Tab to see past the veil and glimpse the truth. You know what would really be nice? In the room that you get an item like this, in this same room, put an immediate use for that item. So we can kind of test for ourselves how well this works. I press tab, nothing happens. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm just not supposed to use it here. Not a problem. So does that mean that there's something that I can use? Is this something that I can use only situationally? Well, then it seems kind of weird that you would map it to a hotkey. Because if you map something to a hotkey, that tells me that I need to be able to use it always, like instantly. Like you had the choice between having this as a usable item in the menu versus having it as a hotkey. So as a hotkey, I'm expecting several different uses of it. So when I first got this item, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can just use it right away, just to kind of test it out. Like, how do I know that this thing has any visual effect? Does it tint the screen when I use it? Does something appear when I use it? Right now, I have no idea. Ow. Damn it. Just for maximum polarity. There we go. Spikes. If we stand still, the spikes can't see us. They're not T-Rexes. They're spikes. Alright. Then we just... Whoops. Didn't mean to guard. Come on. There we go. There we go. So, you all remember that gap that we were at, right? So, there was something that says, hey, we can't see the truth. Well, the lantern says, hey, you can see the truth with the lantern. So I'm like, alright, cool. Let's go check it out. Do you see the true path, or are your eyes covered by the veil of lies? Okay, well, let's open up and see the path. Let's use the lantern and see the truth. Are you guys hearing me hitting the tab key? Nothing is happening. I tried hitting different keys. I tried hitting a bunch of other keys. None of them work. I'm like, huh, okay. Wait a minute. Where's the lantern? Uh-oh. Maybe you need to type tab? It didn't say type tab, it said press tab. I didn't get the lantern. Or maybe I did, and it's not a... and it's not an item. I don't know how the lantern works. Maybe it's a key item, maybe it's not. I have no idea. Maybe it's just a function that happened that just is enabled. Only the dev really knows how this works under the hood. Soft locked? Possibly. But this is the point where I stopped, because I eventually gave up. I'm like, okay, there's a problem. Because I also tried to brute force it, where every tile that I tried to go down is a failure. If not, it still looks like a soft lock. Yeah. I agree. It is a soft lock. But it's not disqualified because it happened well after the 10-minute mark. So as you can see, there is no way forward. And the part that baffles me, and like this is what made me think that I was doing something wrong. Right? Alright, where is it? Where are you? Or maybe I'm getting this confused with somewhere else. Yeah, like someone in the comments section on the game page is like, "Hey, there's a soft lock when you fight the worm boss." I'm like, "Worm boss? What worm boss?" Which made me think that there is a way past this, and I just couldn't find it. I didn't know where it was. But this is where I ended up. So, Dev, if you're watching this, first off, congratulations for making a game. Second off, what in the world? What's going on here? But yeah, you have now seen everything I've seen in this game. Normally, I try to get as far as I can in the game before I eventually give up, but there's absolutely no way I can proceed here. Unless I mash and maybe there's a gap that I can jump and I didn't know about it. I definitely did not step into the pit there. But yeah. Which is a shame. Because I gotta admit, up until that point, I was having a good time. Yes, the battles are simplistic, but you know what? They're short. And I think that's what really helps with games like these. I think it's balanced in a very nice way that battles do not overstay their welcome. So, yeah, the majority of your time is going to be spent in the puzzle section of this game. And in that, I think the game is doing a great job. The lantern notwithstanding. So, again, aside from the jumping part, which I've already explained thoroughly. But yeah, that is what lies beneath. So, Dev, if you're watching this, great job on making this game, but boy, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Don't worry, your game is not DQ'd, because this happened well after the 10-minute mark. But what you just saw was everything I've seen about this game. And I was really getting into the flow too. Like the puzzles were short, they weren't hard, but they also didn't overstay their welcome. Battles were very simplistic, yeah. I would have liked a little bit more variety, but I understand that that's not what the game was trying to go for. So I completely understand. I completely get not wanting to go too hard on the battles. But yeah, this is also what I mean when I say when you design your game for one single party member, it doesn't have to be super in-depth like what Dodge It Now did. You don't have to recreate entire systems. But you do have to plan for it. And from what I've seen, yes, these skills are varied. They give you just enough variation that you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Admittedly, Heavy Strike is a bit of a weird one to me. Let me try this. 8 and then 6. Yeah, okay. So the weird thing about skills like these. Well, okay, hang on. One thing that I really don't like regarding skill usage is I've never been a big fan of skills that are just your basic attack but stronger. Because if you're just going to do that, just get rid of the basic attack. Like, the more skills that you have that are just replacements for your basic attack, I feel like that's just pointless. So, Heavy Strike does... It can do one of two things, and unfortunately I haven't been able to test it to find out. It can either be basic attack but stronger, or, based on what I'm hearing, what I'm reading on this description, it's actually attack that ignores defense. I hope it's the second one, because then that gives this more of a utility rather than just your basic attack. But you have Kick, which is a attack with a chance to stun, and a Sweeping Slash, which hits everybody. These are all skills that add variety and add more options for you as a player. And I definitely appreciate that. I didn't really see much use for Guard. Mostly because, like, if you can attack, like, again, I don't see Guard getting a lot of use because, again, when you just have one character, you want to... Battles like these are DPS races. You want to deplete your enemy's HP before they deplete yours. If that's the case, how exactly is reducing enemy damage your next turn in a game with only one party member? How's that really going to help? Now, unless you had a skill that poisons your enemy, that's a different story, because then that gives Guard a use. Because then you can just bide your time, reduce incoming damage, because if none of your other skills are going to use any damage, are going to inflict any damage, then you can poison them and just bide your time while the poison runs its course on enemies. But if not, then I don't really see how much use Guard would have in a system like this. I also don't see how much use Escape really has, because remember, even if you do succeed in escaping... Oh, look at that. Okay, that's actually... Okay, good. You thought of that. Alright, admittedly, I never escaped in my time with the game. Okay, so you can walk by them. Okay, I like that. That's good. That's good design. I was about to say that in a game with a single tile hallway for dungeons, if you try to run away from touch encounters like these, you're gonna have to get through them anyway. But no, the dev thought of that, and they're like, okay, there's gonna be a brief moment where you can just walk by them, and then yeah, that works out. And all my escape rates have been successful so far. Well, you know what? Never mind then. Oh, that was weird. Why did I get right into a fight again? Is it 100% escape success? Wow, there has not been any failed escape yet. Okay, that's another good thing. That's another point in the game's favor. Or maybe my invisible agility stat is so high that I can just escape every time easily. I don't really know, but regardless, right now, I can always run away with 100% success rate. Bruh. Yeah, I can run away from here too. In a room like this, that's not very useful though. Bruh. Okay, so, bruh. What? What's going on here? Ah! Okay, well, that was weird. Anyway, so that's going to be What Lies Beneath, or What Lies Below. Which one was it? Sorry if I butchered your title. What Lies Beneath. I was right the first time. Great ideas. I really, if the dev were to go back and fix some of these issues, I would absolutely go back and do this game, play this game again. So yeah, good job on this dev. Not sure why there's no border around the sword there. Seems kind of weird, but whatever. So again, a game with some good ideas. I think there's just a few stumbling blocks that's really holding this game back, but you know, I don't know how much free time the dev had. You know, they could have only worked on this on the weekends. I don't know. But yeah, that's actually going to do it for tonight. Because we've got ourselves, I've got more games I want to get through, and I'm at the home stretch. I've got 13 games left before I am done with my part. And I'm going to get through these as quick. I want to say quickly as I can, but obviously I'm not going to rush through them. But I'm going to prioritize getting through these games. 13. Did I say 15? I meant 13. Yeah. You getting Rune Factory tomorrow? Holy shit, it's tomorrow. Oh, wow. Ah! I completely forgot. Well, even if I get it tomorrow, I'm not going to play it, right? Because, again, priority number one is getting the... thank you, yeah. Priority number one is getting these games judged. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on. But I can see if I can nab at someone. We're about to lose him forever? No, not forever. Just, you know, for the most part, just for the rest of the year, maybe. Rune Factory? All right, Centauri. First off, welcome, Centauri. But yeah, tell us how you really feel. Talk about how the game is ruined before it's even released. If I may get it, depending on my financial situation. Well, I mean, the choice is yours. I'm certainly not, I gotta admit, part of me was thinking maybe I should wait and get it on the Switch too. And then the whole $80 games thing came out. And I'm like, I think I'm just gonna pass on the Switch too. I'm just, done. Not gonna do it. So yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and get the game now. Because I think, I remember reading it, like, even if you bought the game, it's still, like, there's the upgrade pack is basically as expensive as buying the game a second time. I'm just like, ew. Like, there's a lot of dumb decisions that were made. I mean, business-wise, I guess they're smart, because, you know, it's Nintendo. People are going to buy Nintendo stuff. Yeah. But, yeah. But I will not. I'm not people. So actually, Marvelous is really cool about it. I think the upgrade might be free. Wait, what? Really now? I'll have to do some research on it. But you can play the Switch 2 version on the Switch 1. What? How? Then what's in the Switch 2 version? Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Hang on. Oh, okay. It's not free. The upgrade pack is $10. Yeah. Marvelous is one of two companies putting the whole game on the cartridge. Yeah. Some games like that. Okay. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch version is $59.99. The Switch 2 version is $69.99. So the upgrade pack is $10. So okay, if you do the this is on Nintendo's website. If you do the upgrade, you're just going to pay the difference between the hold on. Okay, wait, the digital version of Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is $60. Huh. 70 ain't bad. Well, that's how they get you 10. 70 ain't bad. Yeah, well, that's... It's today it's 70. Next year it's going to be 80. The year after that's going to be 90. It's going to be... It's the boiling frog effect. Now. Well, anyway, I don't want to make this whole stream, this whole archive about... talk about Switch 2 prices. So we can do that when we get back to regular scheduled programming. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you for the reminder, 10. I'll have to see if I can, maybe I can get my hands on a copy right away, but I'm definitely not going to play it until the judging is done. I already have Expedition 33 on the backlog. That was my reward for that. That's my reward for myself for when I finish judging. So I've already got the backlog thing going on. It won't be long till we need to pay for bullets mid-battle. Maybe. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and finish up here. Thank you guys so much for dropping by. I really do appreciate that. Devs of these games, if you are listening, you all, regardless of... good luck on the jam for both of you all. But regardless of how it turns out, making a game for a game jam is going to be a challenge, no matter what. So even if you didn't get everything in, I think I've highlighted the problems, but I want to say that despite the problems that I pointed out, you all should feel proud of yourselves for bringing something to completion. It's not something everybody can claim. It's very easy to sit back and just be like, oh yeah, devs are lazy. RPG Maker devs are lazy. But you know what you've been through more than any of us have. So if you did the best you could with what you had, with the time and resources that you had, you have nothing to feel bad for. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dump you off somewhere else. And I will see you all on Friday, where we will continue to highlight more games. And I believe that will be the last Friday stream for RPG Maker games. Oh, okay. All right. Let's dump you off at Hawk Zombie. Looks like the last for Friday. I'm thinking, right? I don't know exactly how I want to handle this come next week, but so like I said at the very, I guess we'll just announce it again because I don't know how many people were not here at the start. I have 13 games left to judge, which means once I'm done judging, I want to slide us back into our regular stream schedule. I'm still going to do highlights, but I plan on making those the free day that we have, right? So, so the free day is going to be judging highlights. So, depending on what we do, depending on how we handle this, it could be Friday. We could do Friday instead of Pitch Fridays. We could be doing more judges highlights because I know we have 2 punishment games that we have to go through. But I've been away from my game for so long that I don't think I'm going to do a dev day for Monday. But yeah, my goal is to have the rest of these games in by the weekend, by the end of the weekend, which means that come Monday, I should be done. But we know what happens every time I try and make that kind of call, right? Every time I say, hey, this won't take long. Oh, this is only going to be a short stream. Yeah, and then it ends up being like half an hour or a whole hour over. But that's my goal. I want to try and get through the last 13 by Sunday night. And if I can, then Monday we're going to get to work on some of these punishments. And then Wednesday we're going to do judges highlights. And then either Friday is going to be judges highlights or Pitch Friday, depending on what we want to do. But either way, starting next week, I do want to try and ease us back into what we normally do before the judging period started. So with that being said, let's go hang out with Hawk Zombie for a little bit. He's actually playing the game that I just finished judging. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to hear his perspective on it. So, thank you all so much for hanging out. And I will see you all again on Friday, doing some more highlights. Later. Oh wait, we still have some time left. Be like, okay, never mind. All right, we're good.